So where are you from originally?
I'm from here, Orange County.
Okay.
Born and raised, yeah.
And why did you get in hair?
I got into hair because I didn't want to work at Home Depot for forever.
Okay. Yeah. So was that your first job?
It wasn't my first job, but I was there for about 6 years. And then they offered me a supervisor position. And then in my head, I was thinking, I was like, oh dang, am I gonna end up like this, like the old man in paint, you know, like there forever.
Was
so
there actually an old man in paint?
Yeah. I think those guys are pretty cool because they're all like into like paint and they're like artsy kind of old guys. But yeah, I just didn't want to, I don't know, I freaked out. I got out of the meeting. I was in my car, I was at a light. There was a bunch of people in black walking across the street. And then I was like, I'm gonna do hair. So then I pulled in, got an application, filled it out, and then a month later I was learning how to roll perms.
So these were students at the former Paul Mitchell School that were walking across the street?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was it?
Well, because I was the first, because it was my gut reaction was I just didn't want to work at Home Depot forever, and I was like, what do I do? And then I just saw people, and I was like, that looks cool, and then.
So you felt like those were your people?
No, I mean, if it was a school, if it was like probably a bunch of dentists walking by, I probably would have went into, yeah.
So you could have very easily become a dentist?
Yeah, whoever was crossing that street. Yeah.
Isn't it funny how life takes you in strange directions?
Yeah.
All right, so you rolled in, you got your application, and you just started in school.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so how long ago was that?
Back in 2003 or 4 is when I was in school.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so tell us what you do now. You're in a private studio locally.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that you've been doing clients full time for the last maybe 10 years or so, and then you started educating more?
No, I've always had one foot in the door for the schools. So I'm in the shop, not in the shop very often. I'm in there maybe like once a week now. I'm here probably like once a week also. And I do a lot of traveling with JPMS and Hattori Hanzo scissors.
Okay. And what does that entail? The traveling for JPMS, let's say. You're traveling a lot. Like, where are you going? What is that like?
Like a couple weeks ago, I went to South Africa, and we launched Maverick out there. It's taken me to different states, Italy, Spain, but mostly it's just for like either a show or like a convention. It's not so much classes, it's more like stage work, I feel like.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, because I know a lot of educators and everything, it's quite a grind, right?
It's very tiring. Sometimes I'll come home, like for instance, that South Africa trip, I flew in that night around 2 in the morning, and then the next morning I had to drive down to Temecula, and I did 2 more classes down there, so I didn't really have like that much time at home to sleep and hang out. But I see big picture, like my goal for all of this, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is just because I don't have a lot of cash or anything. Like I don't have like a house on a property, none of that. But I have a daughter, she's 10. So like I don't have money to leave her. So the only thing I really have left to leave her is my name. So I want to really make an impact in like the hair world. Like, so like if she were to walk into a room full of hair people, I want people to be like, yo, that's Fern's daughter, that's Ocean, like, and then that's like my main goal. So like when I'm super tired, that's like, that one day is like, maybe I'll meet one more person and like make another impact. So I just keep like just pushing myself, and then, cause that's like that's kind of what's driving me to do what I'm doing.
How do you come up with the style when you get a model or you get a client in your chair?
Mostly they kind of give me freedom. They'll give me like a length, like as long as it's like at my chin, or as long as it's no shorter than like an inch or whatever, and then they let me run with it, and then I just kind of come up with it on the spot. Like I used to plan stuff out first and then diagram it and then try and fit it on someone's head, but everyone's head's like so different, so I realized that it wasn't working. So then I would actually, like, when they sit in the chair, I would section as like if I was diagramming it so it can fit on the person's face.
Talk about the blending of styles as far as from a gender standpoint, because obviously that's a trend that's been gaining speed, and you're right in the heart of it. It's
fun to cut. Like I enjoy cutting short hair, so I'm like all into like girls wanting to chop all their hair off. Like price-wise, money and things like that, like I charge them the same as I do for like a men's cut. So I don't have like a men's cut and a women's cut. Like if the cut is past like the jaw, then my price is different than if it's above the jaw. So like a girl comes in for a pixie cut, she's gonna get the same that I charge for a guy that comes in for a fade. But if she wants like a bob or like something like a graduation, then the price changes because it takes longer because of the time. So that's why my price changes.
Anybody have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? Hold on, wait for the mic.
So I know that you travel a lot. How do you balance the life between work and your family?
That's something that I constantly struggle with, and it's hard, dude. Like there's not a secret formulation of how to balance time. It's just I look at it more as when I'm at home, like, whether it be like 10 hours or 5 hours, like be at home and just like be in the moment, and that way you're not wasting your time like on your phone or whatever. Like try and just be there. So I try to make the most out of my time rather than like balancing it. Like, so if I'm here, then I'm here. If I'm at my daughter's softball game, I'm like watching the game. I'm not like on my phone. Like I'm trying to just use the time wisely, I guess.
Would you ever offer discounts, or off the bat when you started your business were you like, this is what it is, you know, like no homie or friend discount? Or
the only discount I do is family, and that's like my mom, my sisters, and I'm really close with my cousin, and then one of my cousins. But other than that, no, there's no what are you gonna charge? Like, what's your angle that you want to charge for a haircut when you get out of school?
Well, I don't know. Like, how would you set it? Like, what
would
you recommend?
What do you want to be able to charge for a haircut when you're out of school? I mean, not when you're out of school. Not when you're in the future, when you're successful. How much your haircut's going to be?
Like 5 years from now?
20. Yeah, as many years.
Well, I just want to be bad and bougie, so.
Like, give me a number.
I don't know. Let's just say. Well, I pay like $350 for my hair starting.
For a haircut?
No, color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then charge $350 when you get out of school.
Is that enough to be bad and bougie?
Don't start. If you start low, it's gonna set. It's again it's time. So it's gonna slow you till while you get to 350, right? Because what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna build all these clients at that low price, and then you're gonna want to knock them off or raise the price, and then you're gonna drop off, and then you're gonna have to rebuild again at 350. So just start off at the number that you're gonna charge, because those other clients that here, you're not gonna want them anyway because they're only paying $150. Like, so if you're gonna like do haircuts, like I tell like when you get out of school, don't charge like $20. Charge $40 or however much you see that you want to charge, or how much you think you're worth an hour.